After a shaky start, the Hilltopper football team is getting the train back on the tracks before they head into the bye week. Thanks for joining us on The Extra Point. I'm Sam Porter.
And I'm Currey McCullough. The memory of a late football player lives on through a scholarship that is changing the lives of current WKU players.
Extra Point.
Good evening, everyone. We normally focus on WKU athletics, but recently there is a lot of coverage on a school just 2 hours north of us. Sam, what can you tell us?
Well, we'll get to that school up north here in just a second, but first, a couple of days ago, a statement was released by the FBI stating that multiple assistant coaches are being charged in a corruption scheme. Assistant coaches from schools such as Auburn, Oklahoma State, and Arizona are facing charges such as bribery, conspiracy to commit bribery, and conspiracy to commit wire fraud. Now, the University of Louisville was also involved in the report. Louisville five-star basketball recruit Brian Bowen has been suspended by Louisville interim president Greg Postel after the FBI alleged that Adidas helped facilitate roughly $100,000 on top of a scholarship in order to convince Bowen to sign with Louisville. As a result, 2 household names have been asked to leave from Louisville. Former Louisville basketball head coach Rick Pitino was fired, and athletic director Tom Jerk has been placed on administrative leave amid the FBI investigation. Pitino led Louisville to a national championship in 2013, while Jerk has been at the helm during Louisville's reign in sports across the board. This Saturday, Louisville football hosts Murray State, and it will be the first time ever the Cardinals will play a game at Papa John's Stadium without Jerk as the athletic director. On November 12th, the Louisville basketball team will host George Mason, and it will be the first game at the KFC Yum Center where Pitino will not be coaching the Cardinals. Keeping it with men's hoops, the WKU men's basketball team is preparing for their first day of official practice, which will get underway this weekend. Senior forward Justin Johnson told Extra Point's Tori Bowling that he is impressed with the senior leadership shown amongst himself, Dwight Colby, and Darius Thompson.
We're the old man group. We lift everything we do. You know, we do our individuals. We lift together. It's what D-Har showing coaches like the old man group's coming in. So it's crazy. I was talking to somebody, you know, the years go by so fast, and you know those guys are great guys. Darius comes from a high-class program, and so does Dwight. And I'm just looking forward to getting on the court and playing with those guys.
WKU football hosted Ball State this past Saturday, looking to avoid going 1-3 heading into the bye week. Reporter Hannah Sells will tell you how it went down.
Red, white, and Ball State. The WKU Hilltoppers and Ball State Cardinals went head-to-head on Saturday for an interesting turn of events. The Tops defense proved to be strong for the first half of the game, making the Cardinals struggle to get down the field for a touchdown. It was touch and go for a bit in the third quarter, carrying over the 17-7 score from halftime until the last 2 minutes in the third when Ball State scored a touchdown to make it 17-14. A field goal at the top of the fourth would set the Tops 6 points over the Cardinals, and those Cardinals fought right back, and a touchdown pushed them 1 point over the Tops with a score of 20-21 with 5 minutes to play. But the Tops would not let that Cardinal fly, and Jakari Moses parted some waters, getting a touchdown, making the score 26-21. And then Joe Brown came in clutch with an interception and 34-yard score to carry the Tops to a 33-21 victory.
A big play had to be made, so why not me?
Coach Sanford said the boys played some complimentary football and dug themselves out of their hard moments.
I feel like we faced a demon that we had seen a week before and conquered that demon, looked it straight in the eye and said, we're going to win this game.
There was times where our defense had to pick us up, and then on that last drive we had to pick our defense up. And there was time where special teams made huge plays. So it was a 3-phase game. You know, when we needed it the most, we were able to come out and get the victory.
Reporting for the Extra Point, I'm Hannah Sells.
With that win, the Hilltoppers improved to 2-2 heading into the bye week. WKU will travel to El Paso, Texas next Saturday to take on the Miners.
Unfortunately, there will be no Hilltopper football for this week. Their good timing and victory over Ball State this past weekend has earned them a relaxed bye week. The Toppers will spend this week taking it easy and, of course, working out some kinks, so they can come back strong and better than ever for next week's game against UTEP. As for the injured Hilltoppers, the bye week will prove to be a good thing, allowing them ample recovery time.
Yeah, I think the bye week's going to be really good for both of them. Baker played a little bit, just coming off the rib injury and the hip injury that he had. Nothing was long-term significant. But in DeAndre Furby, we kind of made the choice to get full healing for him, to make sure that we rested him for the games going into the bye week. Therefore, he could use the bye week as a full opportunity to completely heal.
The Hilltoppers will return to the field on October 7th against the University of Texas El Paso Miners on the road. This marks the first road matchup for the Hilltoppers as they come into the game toting an impressive 2-2 record. The Miners, on the other hand, are looking for their first win on the season as they currently sit at 0-4. Sanford and crew will continue to rely on that offense, who ranks second in total yards in Conference USA. That matchup is slated to kick off at 7 p.m. Stay updated on the matchup via our Twitter at ExtraPointWKU. For 19 years, one fraternity is keeping the memory alive on one former WKU walk-on football player and paying it forward. Extra Point reporter Emily Spink has more.
The Jimbo DeVries Scholarship Golf Scramble was created in 1999 to keep his legacy alive after a tragic accident that took him from the world too soon. Besides being a part of Phi Delta Theta fraternity, he was also a WKU walk-on football player. The Golf Scramble at Crosswinds Golf Course always starts with former WKU football players, friends, and family gathering together to remember the life of Jimbo DeVries.
He was extremely rich, not by wallet size, but by friendships.
The Jimbo DeVries Scholarship pays it forward to Meade County High School graduate students, Phi Delta Theta fraternity members, and WKU walk-on football players. WKU head coach Mike Sanford says having this scholarship is incredibly important for these young athletes.
The team has been big, is the walk-on that has had to fight and scratch and claw for everything they get, and then all of a sudden they get put on scholarship, and now there's a different level of commitment to the team.
The two recipients of the Jimbo DeVries Scholarship are tight end Deion Yelder and running back Ben Holt. Yelder is a rising star on the WKU football team as one of the best athletes. Scholarship is a big part for the WKU community, and that's what's made it so successful for the last 19 years.
50 WKU students who have received the Jimbo DeVries Scholarship. We've got a good fund built to continue to do this for years ahead.
The planning for the 20th anniversary of the Jimbo DeVries Golf Scramble is underway. Reporting for Extra Point, I'm Emily Spink.
Thank you, Emily. The scholarship also provides financial support to Meade County High School graduates and to members of the Phi Delta Theta fraternity. This is the 18th year of the scholarship.
Coming up on the Extra Point, our own D.D. Green joins us live at the soccer match to preview the Lady Tops home opener against Rice.
One WKU volleyball player is using her last year to show all of her talents. We'll show you who.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Whew. Listen, I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
Recently, our country has witnessed catastrophic devastation. Hurricanes and flooding have upended lives and livelihoods.
Across this great country, Americans have answered the call.
That special calling that compels us when others are down, to step up and do whatever it takes.
America's at her best when, against all odds, we come together and lift each other up.
please donate to oneamericaappeal.org. America needs you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The WKU women's soccer team traveled to Hattiesburg, Mississippi last Thursday looking for their first conference win of the season against Southern Miss. The Hilltoppers entered the match 3-5 looking for a hot start in conference play. Senior goalkeeper Allison Leone did her part and kept the Golden Eagles off the scoreboard. The senior recorded 7 saves throughout regulation and overtime. However, Southern Miss goalkeeper Kelly Bramhat said, "Anything you can do, I can do well, just as well." Bramhat recorded 6 saves herself as neither team found the net and the game ended in a scoreless draw. The tie moves the WKU to 3-5 and 1 on the year. The Lady Tops are back in action tonight with their Conference USA home opener against Rice University. Reporter Dee Green is at WKU Soccer Complex now. Dee, what do you have for us? And it appears we're having some technical difficulties. Thanks, Dee. We'll see if the Hilltoppers can get that first conference win and get back on the winning side. The volleyball team has had a successful week so far, to say the least. With their 3-2 win against Florida Atlantic, they used their momentum and confidence to sweep UNC Charlotte 3-0. Star player and outside hitter Alyssa Kavanaugh is responsible for her whopping 26 kills to help the team advance to a 15-2 Conference USA record. Speaking of that career-high performance, it is actually one of our candidates for this week's Jaw Dropper. Later in the show, we'll show you if it made the cut.
In sports, coaches come and go. Western Kentucky University has one coach that has come to the Hill and has not left the Hill. Reporter Brennan Ward introduces us to one of the most faithful coaches WKU is honored to have.
The Western Kentucky University Lady Topper Volleyball Program has received national recognition. WKU alum Travis Hudson played an important part in making WKU volleyball what it is today. Coach Hudson took over the team in 1995. His first season as the head coach of the team was rough with a 7-26 record.
Through my first 3 years as a coach, I had a losing record by a large margin.
Coach Hudson is going on his second decade coaching at WKU.
I'm a different one. That much I know. I'm different, and I watch coaches bounce around the country and coach at all these different universities, chasing a bigger paycheck and doing those things, and those aren't the things that motivate me in my life. And, you know, loyalty is important to me, and, you know, these are kids that I recruited to come here, and it would be really hard on me to walk away from them after convincing them to come be a part of this university.
Senior setter Jessica Lucas will leave the Hill next year and says she will miss playing for Coach Hudson.
He cares about his players off the court, which is something that not every student athlete can say, and I'll definitely miss that.
Coach Hudson is proud of what this program has become and the success of the players.
The thing that makes me the most proud is when we have an alumni event and I have kids come back from my entire 20-year career, and not only do they come back to visit campus for the weekend, but they still feel very much a part of what we continue to accomplish, and that means a lot to me.
Coach Hudson teaches everything from the strategies to the fundamentals. For the Extra Point, I'm Brendan Ward.
The Lady Toppers will be returning to the Hill on September 29th to play Louisiana Tech at 6 p.m. Now, like we said earlier, WKU is hosting their Conference USA opener against Rice University. We have reporter Dee Green at WKU Soccer Complex right now. Dee, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Sam. It's a beautiful day here at the soccer field. Fans will soon rush in for Red Out and Military Appreciation Night. Just last week, WKU tied Southern Miss in overtime. Meanwhile, Rice beat Louisiana Tech 2-0. Some players at WKU are going to have to look out for are Samantha Chaikin and Rebecca Keene, both really good in the air and very creative. If WKU wants to win tonight, they're going to have to match that creativity and have better 1v1 defending. Offensive trio Sarah Gorham, Hannah Chua, and Chandler Backus are going to have to be just as creative and find those spaces on the field against Rice. I talked to head coach Jason Nidell earlier today, and he said, hey, don't forget about this game. And that just shows that he's ready to have his team to compete for 90 minutes. For the Extra Point, I'm Dee Green.
Thank you, Dee Dee, so much for that report. Now, there's one WKU volleyball player that has people wanting more. I went out and talked to Alyssa Kavanaugh this week. Here's what she had to say about her season so far. It's no surprise that WKU volleyball is succeeding very well this season. With 5 seniors on the team, it is obvious there's no lack of motivation to win.
Being a senior, so it's been a quick 4 years and it's gone by really fast, so I want to make my senior year the best that I can be because it's going to be over quick.
Some can thank the senior and outside hitter Alyssa Kavanaugh for the Lady Toppers' 15-2 record with her own personal .402 attack percentage. Not only is she a star on the court, but in the classroom as well. She holds the title as WKU's John O. Oldham Female Student Athlete of the Year from last year. Kavanaugh is not the one to sit back and watch. Being a senior definitely has its priorities.
As a senior, we're more expected as a leadership role. You know, we're in charge of all the other players and kind of how the culture of our team goes. So we're kind of more the head of controlling all of that.
The senior says that she is humbled by being named Conference USA Player of the Year and is always looking forward to a two-peat. For Extra Point, I'm Currey McCullough. Alyssa, we wish you and the rest of the team good luck for this weekend's matchup.
Coming up on the Extra Point, we'll show you highlights from high school football and tell you the story of a group of triplets who are making noise in more than just one sport.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
A household name has planted his seed, well, 3 seeds actually, in the city of Bowling Green. Our reporter Tori Bowling has the story.
Hall of Fame coach Steve Spurrier has made a name for himself in the college football world, but now the Spurrier name is making waves in Bowling Green.
I don't think being a Spurrier carries any extra weight, especially among us 3. Our parents have always pushed us to work hard and do our best, and we just all do our own things.
Out of all of us, I probably get it the most because I play football and it's just part of who I am. But having it attached, of course I'm trying to be who I am. I don't just want to be focused on that. But, it does bring an extra weight sometimes.
The head ball coach has had quite the impact on his grandchildren's lives.
Especially for me, after every game, he usually calls me, asks me how I did, tells me congrats, good luck. And then usually he tries to come up to as many games as he can for me, for Luke, for my dad coaching. He does have a pretty big impact, and I love him, so.
Yeah, he definitely is still there for me, even though he probably doesn't know anything I'm talking about with cheer, but he still tries to listen to my stories, and he's proud of me for that, so it's great to have him.
Even though football is in the family, Luke, Gavin, and Emmeline have all found sports that they love.
I played football, and then I decided that I loved to run and in middle school, and decided to pursue that and keep running, and I loved it, and that's where I found a home.
I've always loved football, watching football, hearing about football, watching practices. I love the game, and even if I wasn't a Spurrier, I really believe I'd be playing football right now.
Our family's always been really athletic, so I've bounced around from plenty of sports, but we've always been encouraged to do what we love and what makes us happy and have fun.
And the move to South Warren has been a smooth one for the Spurriers.
We actually moved out in March, so I got to go through spring practice with the whole team, and it's going really well. I love all the guys. They're all cool. They're funny.
The program, and there's really good guys there that welcomed me. It was actually a really easy adjustment.
Kentucky has been I've noticed a lot bigger for cheerleading. So tumbling has been a big aspect for me because I'm not a big tumbler, but I've gotten a lot of skills as I've been here, and the team has been really inviting, and it's just been nice.
Moving states, finding their passion for sports, and carrying the Spurrier name has been a comfortable ride for the triplets. Reporting for The Extra Point, I'm Tori Bowling.
Thanks, Tori. And who knows, maybe if Gavin Spurrier continues to play at a high level, we could end up seeing him playing quarterback here on the Hill in the near future.
Speaking of Gavin Spurrier and the Spartans, they were back in action last Friday against winless Barron County in a District 2 showdown.
Yeah, Sam, the Spartans showed Barron County who was boss with a win of 50-6, only allowing the Trojans a second-half score. The Spartans showed no mercy as Spurrier threw for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first half. The Spartans built a 43-0 halftime lead, which mandated a running clock for the second half. The two teams traded one score in the second half as the Spartans won 50-6 to improve to 6-0 on the season. Warren East took to the road last week as they headed down to Tompkinsville for a matchup against the Falcons of Monroe County. And boy, was it a thriller. As the Raiders looked for their 4th win on the year, they battled for 4 quarters against a very good Monroe County football team. Led by quarterback Ty Mink, the Falcons would ultimately sink the Raiders by a close final score of 15-14. Warren East falls to 3-3 on the year, but they'll look to bounce back tonight as they take on Warren Central in a very rare Thursday night football matchup. The struggles continue for Warren Central Dragons. The Dragons headed north for a midseason matchup with Central Hardin. Warren Central is struggling, but looking to claim the victory for the first time all season. But Central Hardin would light up the scoreboard as they found the end zone all night long. 50 points would grace Central Hardin as their defense pitched a shutout against the Dragons. Final score, 50-0. Dragons still winless on the year. Greenwood hosted Bowling Green football last Friday in a district showdown. Now, Greenwood has never defeated Bowling Green in football, and this year that streak would stand. Yeah, Bowling Green and Greenwood, the crosstown rivals, squaring up in mid-season form. First half, it was the Gators strutting their stuff as they got off to a hot, quick start, and that Crest-Seabolt offense was firing on all cylinders, with Jackson Adams leading the charge. But the Purples would put a quick stop to that early success. Bowling Green would find the end zone to take a 21-7 lead, and they would not look back after that. The Purples cruised to a Week 6 victory. Final score, 49-19. The Purples proved to 4-2 as the Gators fall to 2-4. The split back veer, the triple option, even a combination of both is quite the unique playing style for a high school football team. But one local team has the art mastered. Miles Schroeder caught up with the guys that make the magic happen on Friday nights.
A lot of high school teams take a snap and use a few basic options: a pass to a wide receiver, a toss to a running back, maybe a quarterback keeper. But Coach Chris Seabolt has spent years revamping the veer offense at Greenwood High School. Some pre-snap motion, a deceptive quarterback, and a bundle of running options are crucial in running the veer option. Now, in his veer option, Seabolt calls a running play nearly 90% of the time, but while it may be easy for the defense to tell that a rush is coming, predicting who will be the one with the ball is another story.
That just comes with the offense. A lot of reads and guys assuming where the ball is, and it's not there.
The gang of runners Coach Seabolt has isn't something he takes for granted.
It definitely helps us. If you coach your guys correctly Monday through Thursday, and they can carry out the game plan and read it correctly, it kind of takes care of itself, so you don't have to worry, or takes a little bit of pressure off of you as a coordinator, as a play caller.
Quarterback Jackson Adams has already racked up nearly 800 rushing yards and 7 rushing touchdowns in just 6 games. So it's pretty safe to say he's comfortable in Seabolt's offense now, but that wasn't the case initially.
Well, it was his first year running it, so we kind of all just were adjusting together. So it was tough at first because varsity football and then offense I've never even had heard of yet, but it ended up working out.
Coach Seabolt has no complaints with how Adams has morphed into the offense.
And then Jackson's been the perfect fit, I should say, at quarterback for it.
The role Adams and his fellow rushing attack has developed into is making Greenwood one of the most formidable rushing onslaughts around. Reporting for the Extra Point, I'm Miles Schroeder.
Thanks, Miles. Greenwood takes the field tomorrow as they get set to take on South Warren on the road. We'll see if that unorthodox offense can prevail.
High school football starts early this week as Warren East and Warren Central are set to kick off tonight in about 30 minutes. Let's take a look at what other games are going on this week in the Bluegrass. Warren East at Warren Central, Greenwood at South Warren, the Purples traveling to Grayson County. All those matchups are slated to get underway at 7 p.m. We'll keep you updated on our Twitter at ExtraPointWKU.
Up next, this week's hero on the hill made a game-winning play to help seal the deal for one Hilltopper team. We'll show you who.
Sweetheart, think about your future. Jeff over there didn't just look at him. He saved up, bought a house, he's got a beautiful wife, they even had a fancy pants destination wedding, and oh, they had a baby! Ah! Smart and handsome, ooh la la. Now, I've been saving these frames for pictures of my future grandbabies for years, and the shopping sprees on organic clothing and telephone cases is not helping you save for a family. Oh, gracious! Look at that! He's a model! Oh. I bet you he's putting all that money right into a 401k or his baby's college fund. And his teeth are so straight. See how good saving can look at feedthepig.org. Feed the pig.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
This week's jaw dropper includes the one, the only, Alyssa Kavanaugh. Her 26 kills in the matchup against Charlotte gave the team an only 5-set win. The scoreboard never changed from 3-0, for WKU maintained at least a 2-point advantage the rest of the way. It does not stop there. The Lady Toppers worked at a .429 offensive rate with 17 kills, followed by only 2 errors. Now, if you know volleyball, you would know that this is pretty impressive.
And now it's time to introduce this week's hero on the hill. WK senior defensive back Joe Brown had a huge interception last week against Louisiana Tech, but the Bulldogs were able to get the ball back and drive down the field for the winning score. With a 26-21 lead against Ball State, Brown once again picked off the opposing quarterback's pass, only this time he took it the other way to put the game away and ensure there would be no heartbreaking loss this week. Congrats, Joe. You are this week's hero on the hill.
The University of Louisville has made its way to the headlines. The Cardinals issued a statement acknowledging its inclusion in a federal investigation into their men's basketball team for recruiting. They have released a statement saying, "We will cooperate fully with any law enforcement or NCAA investigation into the matter." Now, Sam, I know U of L is a big school, and big schools usually do not tolerate these kind of violations. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, this process is far from over. We know Louisville is just one of the few big schools to be named in this violation process that's going on. But that's all the time we have for today. We're going to wrap it up. The Extra Point, as always, it's up.
And it's good.